It wasn't a political analyst, a member of parliament, or even a fiery protester that delivered the most devastating blow to Keir Starmer in recent days. No, this time, the punch came from someone unexpected. Someone who doesn't need a political party to speak his mind. Someone who, despite being a comedian, often speaks more truth than the entire front bench of the Labour Party. Yes, we're talking about Ricky Gervais. And what he just said about Keir Starmer and the arrest of Tommy Robinson has sent shockwaves across the nation. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to Precious Update. We bring you the truth the media is too scared or too compromised to say. If you believe in speech, truth, and accountability, you're in the right place. It started with the arrest of Tommy Robinson again. Whatever you think of him, there's no denying that Robinson's name has become a lightning rod in Britain. Love him or hate him, his arrest this week sparked outrage. Supporters accused the government of politically motivated suppression, while the media, true to form, barely covered the details. But someone did speak up, and it wasn't who anyone expected. On X, formerly Twitter, Ricky Gervais dropped a post that set social media on fire. He didn't mince words. He wrote, "When comedians can get arrested for jokes, and journalists for opinions, and activists for speech, then politicians should start sweating. They're next." He didn't name Tommy Robinson directly, but everyone knew what he was referring to. The timing, the tone, the fury, it all pointed to one thing: Gervais had just called out the establishment. And Keir Starmer, he was the main target. Why? Because Starmer, the so-called human rights barrister, has stayed dead silent about Robinson's arrest. Not a word, not a comment, not even the classic political deflection. Starmer, once billed as a protector of justice and due process, suddenly has nothing to say when a British citizen is arrested again for what he said, not what he did. And that silence hasn't gone unnoticed. That's where Gervais comes in. Because when comedians start doing the job of journalists, it means the system is broken. And what Ricky Gervais just did was hold up a mirror not just to Keir Starmer but to an entire class of elites who think they're untouchable. The reaction was immediate. Gervais's tweet went viral, racking up millions of views in hours. Thousands of comments poured in, many echoing the same sentiment: why is a comedian braver than the leader of the opposition? Others took direct aim at Starmer. Keir has no backbone. He only defends causes that get him applause. And perhaps the most damning: if free speech scares you, you're the problem. Now let's be clear, Gervais didn't defend Robinson's every word. He didn't make excuses. What he did was defend the principle that no one should be arrested in a supposedly free country for expressing an unpopular opinion. And that's exactly why Starmer's silence is so revealing. This isn't about left or right anymore, it's about whether you believe in democracy, or whether you're just playing the part. Remember, this is the same Keir Starmer who once boasted about his credentials as a defender of human rights. He built his career on challenging bad laws and defending the voiceless. But now, when it's politically risky, he hides. He chooses the safe route. He lets the mob speak for him while pretending neutrality. But neutrality in the face of injustice? That's not noble. That's cowardice. And the public is noticing. Polls are shifting. Anger is rising. And Gervais's tweet, while just one moment, is symbolic of a much bigger problem. Starmer is no longer trusted to stand up for the people. He's seen as a puppet for the media class, a man too afraid to upset the apple cart. And now even celebrities, those who usually stay well away from political controversy, are calling him out. This isn't the first time Ricky Gervais has gone off script. He's built a reputation on challenging sacred cows: Hollywood, cancel culture, woke politics, and now, the British political establishment. But this hit differently, because he didn't just mock the politicians, he exposed them. Exposed their fear, exposed their hypocrisy, exposed their inability to stand up for the very freedoms they claim to represent. And let's not forget the reaction from Labour HQ. According to insider reports, senior advisors were furious that Gervais's comments gained such traction. Some even debated issuing a response, but they backed off, afraid to fuel the fire. Because they know, If Starmer were to address the Tommy Robinson arrest, he'd have to choose. And either choice would burn him. If he supports the arrest, he confirms everything people fear about Labour's stance on speech and dissent. But if he criticises it, he risks upsetting the very institutions he's been cozying up to for years. It's a lose-lose, and Starmer chose the path he always does: silence. But in that silence, Ricky Gervais filled the void. And what he said resonated more than any official press release ever could. Because deep down, the British public is waking up. They're seeing how political speech is being policed, how opinions are being criminalized, how the leaders they once trusted are nowhere to be found when it matters most. And when comedians become the last line of truth, you know the empire is crumbling. This moment matters, because it's not about Tommy Robinson or Ricky Gervais or even Keir Starmer alone. It's about the direction of this country, about whether we protect the freedoms our grandparents fought for or whether we let them slip away because of fear, cowardice, or political convenience. We are at a crossroads. And voices like Gervais's are reminding us that the fight for freedom won't always come from politicians. Sometimes, it comes from those who refuse to be silenced. And to Keir Starmer, the message couldn't be clearer: you may wear the suit, you may give the speeches, you may play the part, but the people are watching. And they're not clapping anymore. They're laughing, not with you, at you. If you believe in holding the powerful to account, if you believe that speech is a right, not a privilege, subscribe to Precious Update now. We're not here to please the establishment. We're here to expose it. And as long as the truth is under threat, we'll keep reporting it louder, sharper, and without fear. Thanks for watching.